Hello friends, this is Dr. Saurabh Patwardhan from Nandadeep Eye Hospital, Sangli, Maharashtra, India. And in this video, I'll be speaking about the hand movements the surgeon uses during this surgery on a white cataract. And I feel whenever I go to any surgeon to watch him operate, I very carefully watch hand movements because these are the details which we cannot see many times in the surgical videos. So here I am operating on this white cataract. You can see there is a pterygium on nasal and temporal side, and I am going to stain this with trypan blue. The patient has a mature cataract, so patient cannot fix. I am doing the surgery on topical anesthesia, but I am not going to ask the patient again and again to look straight because patient cannot fix on the light. So I will just focus on uh, my work here. I have stained the capsule and just watch any time whenever I use and I want to inject any uh, either it is visco or fluid inside the eye. I always hold on to the hub. This is to avoid flying cannula as it may hit and injure the ocular structures. Here I have chosen to go from the main incision. After using the Hylucoat, I have found that the anterior lens capsule in this particular case is flat. There is hardly any intuitions, so I am not worried about Rexis runaway here. And there is some liquid cortex which leaks out, so I just clear it with Hylucoat again. And I am going in with a micro capsulorhexis forceps here. That is the capsulorhexis guide, which is a Callisto system, which is just showing me how to get a good capsulorhexis size and shape. Again the fluid comes out, so I am going to push some OVD over that area to avoid to get a clear picture. And you can watch my hand movements here. So my left hand is basically bringing the eye to the center because this patient is still not able to fix. And look at my right hand, so nicely resting on the forehead of the patient, which is very important. Now because I have taken a posterior limbal incision, I just made a nick in the conjunctiva just behind the incision to avoid any water or BSS which is going in the subconjunctival space. So now just watch how I inserted the phaco probe and how I am going to rotate the phaco probe between my fingers, which is thumb, index finger and the middle finger. These are three important fingers. Rest fingers I use for resting the hand properly on the patient's forehead. And if you see my left hand as well, you will find whenever I rotate the nucleus, at that time the movement is happening only between the thumb and the index finger and also the middle finger, but I am not going to move my wrist. But whenever I want to bring the chopper or the Sinski deeper down, I move my wrist so that it reaches a particular depth. And for rotating the nucleus, I just rotate the Sinski between my thumb and the index finger. So while watching different steps of chopping, also watch carefully how my hands are moving, how even while using the phaco probe you can see my pen like grip which is there, and my left hand how my wrist is little bit moving when I want to push this Sinski deeper into the nucleus, and whenever I want to rotate it is just between the thumb and the index finger, so I don't move my wrist when I want to rotate the pieces. I am keeping the bevel on the side. If I want to change the bevel angle for my right hand, the phaco probe is going to just going to rotate the index finger over the phaco probe, and that's enough to change the angle of the bevel, whether it is sideways, upward or down, whatever I want to keep it. Now just watch how for the bevel down I just rolled the index finger over the phaco probe, and this is a coaxial IA probe. Again watch my right hand. So whenever I want to go into the bag at different places at different angles, just watch how I roll my index finger over this IA probe. So the movements are basically between my finger, the index finger and the thumb, while rest of the fingers are used to rest the probe, rest my hand properly on the patient's forehead. And that's why there is a very stable probe which is in my hand, and I can just rotate it in different manner. For sub-incisional, you can see how my index finger just goes over the coaxial IA probe to change that angle. You can see my foot switch is controlling the vacuum here, so I am using just 20-25 vacuum for doing the polishing. And now I'm going to do little bit of hydro polish, because these mature cataracts, they have a lot of these feathery small cortical fibers in the periphery. So I'm just going to push some fluid in the equator of the bag to flush out some of these fibers. And watch how I'm going to hold the hub of the cannula always. This avoids flying cannula. So in case the tip is blocked, the cannula should not go and hit the ocular structures. So that's why my left hand, the between the index and middle finger, it will always hold the hub of the cannula. Now I have already implanted the IOL here, and now I want to enlarge this rhexis, though it appears to be of adequate size, but I want it bigger. Probably this patient has slightly higher risk of developing capsular phimosis, maybe a little bit of myopia in this particular patient, so I want a bigger capsular rhexis. So I nicked it with 1 hour, and then I'm using microcapsular rhexis forceps to hold this tear and then make it into a bigger capsular rhexis. So the patient is being operated on topical anesthesia, but my left hand, which is holding the Sinskey, is doing excellent job to keep the eye right at the center, though patient may try to move the eye in between. But now, because now I have removed the cataract, patient can fix well on the light. So I can instruct the patient to look at the light, and this is the hydration of the incision to close it. Watch how I am pushing the fluid. I am not using the distal phalanx here, but the middle phalanx of my thumb. So the injection of fluid is very well controlled. For more such videos, do subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also visit our website phacotraining.org.in. We also have a Facebook page, phacotraining.org.in. Thank you so much.